I know who I am. I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude. Welcome to Should You Watch This with the Popcorn Priest, the weekly podcast where movie enthusiasts, current and ex-movie theater projectionists, new and old friends take the time to talk about a movie that we just watched. And answer that very question, should or shouldn't you watch this? Grab your booty sweat and bust-a-nut bars and a super realistic decapitated head. And let's go deep into the jungles of Myanmar and take a deep dive into the fifth most expensive comedy ever made.
While filming a movie, 3 of Hollywood's biggest stars were kidnapped.
Guys, anybody got some bug spray?
Now they'll have to stop acting.
You should have got an award.
Thank you. That's, even...
Shut up now!
Okay.
And start fighting back.
Some of us might not make it back.
But not on the same flight?
Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr.
Hot damn.
Why are you still in character?
Man, I don't drop character till I done a DVD commentary.
Tropic Thunder.
Joining me today is reoccurring guest, JJ, a.k.a. The Mist. Welcome back to the show, my man.
How's it going, Popcorn?
Really, really good now. This was a mutual pick for the both of us, I think.
Yes, sir.
What if I told you that we're about to talk about a movie that cannot and will not ever be made again? We're here to tell you why. Welcome to Tropic Thunder from 2008. The details for this one. Through a series of freak occurrences, a group of actors shooting a big budget war movie are forced to become the soldiers they are portraying. Directed by Ben Stiller. Dude, did you know he directed this?
Yeah. So he directed, wrote it, obviously stars in it.
I mean, I didn't know that, I guess.
He's also done all those with Zoolander 1 and 2. But he's directed more movies, I believe.
Yeah, he also directed Cable Guy.
Yeah.
Which is
a great classic. Underrated.
Yes, underrated, for sure. And he directed 7 episodes of the hit series Severance on Apple TV Plus.
Oh, okay.
Which is very good. You should check it out. I think you might like it.
Yeah, it's on my list.
Yeah, dude. These days, there's so many things just building up on the list. You just got to get to it whenever you can. Top billed stars are Ben Stiller, the aforementioned Ben Stiller, Jack Black, Robert Downey Jr., Brandon T. Jackson, Jay Baruchel. Is it Baruchel?
I think so.
All right, we'll take Baruchel for $300, Alex. Steve Coogan, Bill Hader, Nick Nolte, Danny McBride, Matthew McConaughey, and the one and only Tom Cruise as Les Grossman. Bro, what an insane cast. It's so awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why this movie is just so good is the cast is off the charts.
Yes. And let me just say, several actors and actresses made cameo appearances. I'm sorry this is kind of a spoiler, but I have to say these as well, just because we're talking about all the awesome people in this movie. Tobey Maguire, cameo. Jennifer Love Hewitt, cameo. Lance Bass, cameo. Jon Voight, cameo. Jason Bateman, cameo. Dude, it's so great.
Yeah, it's nonstop.
Yeah, it's a barrage of awesome actors and cameos. I love it. And it's also great. So I just wanted to bring this up. I know you know this, but Cruise buried himself in prosthetics to play Les. The big hands were his idea. He said, I have to have fat hands. And he and Stiller did not want the cameo ruined. Paramount did not release any images of Cruise in the film, and his overall involvement in the movie was supposed to be kept secret. Then, pictures of Cruise in costume popped up online. After this, Cruise's lawyers sprung into action. Soon enough, the photos of Cruise as Grossman were removed from the internet.
You don't mess with TC's lawyers, man.
I mean, dude.
He knows some powerful people.
I can't imagine. Yeah. So,
I'll never forget this. I saw this. I remember seeing this in the theater, and I had no idea he was in it. And when his first scene comes on, it sounds like him, but it looks nothing like him. And you're like, is that Tom Cruise? That's Tom Cruise. You're thinking about it the whole time.
Yeah, you don't get it. You don't like you wave it off the first time, and then the second time you're like, it has to be Tom Cruise. Like there's no other way, and then obviously it is. But yeah, it's insane. I mean, you can't, even back in 2008, like this would be so hard to do a cameo like that without it being revealed by a million people.
Yeah, it'd definitely be tougher for sure.
Yeah. We just barely started. We just got into the top billed stars and it's already insane. So runtime, 1 hour and 47 minutes, rated R for sure. Genre on Rotten Tomatoes says comedy action, and IMDb says action comedy war.
Okay, I like the war genre.
I kind of don't. I wanted to say comedy action. I think Rotten Tomatoes got it on this one.
Yeah. I remember another pod we were talking about. This was one of our favorite war movies, kind of joking around because obviously it's just like a comedy action.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll allow the war to slide in, to have a little backseat.
Do you remember what it's good for?
Absolutely nothing. Speaking of ratings, IMDb gives this a 7.1 out of 10, which is pretty high. 423,000 reviews. Rotten Tomatoes gives this an 82% from 252 critics and 71% from 250,000 audience ratings. That seems low on the audience to me.
Yeah, the IMDb score seems right where it should be.
Yeah. I mean, anything above a 7 these days on IMDb is hard to get just because there's so many knuckleheads out there giving their 2 cents. So where to watch this right now? At the time of this recording, you can only rent or purchase this from your preferred purveyor of digital media. If you choose the highest tier of our Patreon account, you'll have access to the Popcorn Priest permanent collection. Go to patreon.com/Popcorn Priest for details. This brings us to one of our newer categories and most beloved of Should You Watch This? Popcorn Reviews the Reviews. This is obviously where I cherry pick some of the best and some of the worst reviews that are online of normal people, and we just laugh at them, essentially. What do you want first? I'll give you the choice. Do you want the 1 out of 10s first or the 10 out of 10? You want the lower
ones.
Okay. Here's the first one. Really boring, says Nan Cook. I had a difficult time sitting through this movie. It appears to be a movie for high school boys who still laugh at farts. Toward the end, I did at least smile a couple of times. I think this movie, this is how I should read the rest of this. I think this movie shows just how far our society has gone with gross jokes insensitively toward various groups, such as Vietnam War veterans, and phrases that should not be uttered outside of the gutter. I was also surprised to see a boy about the age of 12 in the movie. He appeared to be with his mother. However, after saying this, I realized that 12-year-old boys are probably who this was written for. Maybe Ben Stiller can actually find a script in the future that might just actually be humorous. 1 out of 10 stars. I mean,
I don't think comedy is this person's thing.
Yeah, like maybe here's the thing. When you go to Papa John's, which is a delectable place to purchase pizza, are you going to be ordering sushi at Papa John's? No. We're ordering pizza. What did she think she was getting into?
Yeah, I don't think she
or he. Maybe it's he. Yeah, maybe I misrepresented with the voice, but
you did sound like a Karen.
That was the idea, but yes. All right, here's another one. This one for sure is a Karen. The user is Just a Chick 1 says, I want my $8.50 back. Tom Cruise was hilarious. Jack Black was marginally funny, and everything else just sucked. I went for a bathroom break during the last 30 minutes just to have something. I mean, dude, just to have
Long
something.
time.
It's a long, how do you go? That's a long 30-minute break, man. Just to have something else to look at. What are you looking at? The toilet? I love Robert Downey Jr., but his character was so dull. It was almost physically painful to watch. And Ben Stiller? Good grief. He needs to drop all Zoolander-ish roles pronto. That's exactly how I would describe his character in this movie. Zoolander gets stuck in the jungle. 1 out of 10 stars.
Who wrote that one?
Just a Chick 1. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe comedy's not her thing as well.
Correct. That is 100% correct. I mean,
Also, Zoolander's hilarious.
Zoolander is hilarious.
So, I don't mind more Zoolander-related comedies.
Yeah, give me a third one. I'm in. All right, last but not least, awful. Simply awful, says Rodney H. I don't know if I can use the required 10 lines to express a 3-word summary as listed. Awful. Simply awful. For starters, I have to admit that I don't like Ben Stiller. Okay, bro. Again,
All
why?
these people beefing with Stiller and they're signing up for a movie that once again he wrote, directed, and starred in.
Yeah, what are you going to this movie for? Never have, he says. Or I'm assuming Rodney is a male, but I don't know. Never have, probably never will. Okay, then don't go to Ben Stiller movies. I didn't research this movie before I watched it, so I was unaware that he co-wrote, co-produced, directed, and starred in it. Okay, thanks, bro. I mean, did you see a trailer? You saw a poster when you're walking in? He's in. It says his name all over it. He continues, now I really don't like him. I have always admired Nick Nolte. Nick, why did you sign up for this turkey? My significant other and I have usually enjoyed Jack Black, but Jack, you really stink in this. Crude, adolescent bathroom humor just isn't funny. This one is definitely one to avoid. 1 out of 10 stars.
Rodney, disagree.
Rodney, you and your significant other need to go to a different film. I'm sorry.
Also, that's kind of who Jack Black is. So I don't understand that reference he made.
Yeah, again, another instance where you are categorizing someone who is not what he is. All right, here's the top rated reviews. This is the greatest story ever told. Says Clint Moron. When asked, what's your favorite movie? I used to take pause and have a hard time answering, but not anymore. Tropic Thunder, the last enjoyably offensive and unapologetic comedy from planet Earth. To all involved making this film, thank you for making the world a better place. 10 out of 10 stars. And
Great opening line, great conclusion there, bud. That was awesome.
And he's right. This is the last enjoyably offensive and unapologetic comedy from planet Earth. This can never be made again, ever.
No, he's also right that it makes the world a better place.
It does. And I'm glad that we can revisit it over and over because we can't get another one of these. It's a gem. All right, 2 more. Natasha W says, never gets old. 13 years later. So this review was 13 years after it came out. And this comedy is always a classic. Can't stop requoting it, laughing my ass off, and enjoying every bit of it. If anyone has anything negative to say about this movie, then they just don't have a good sense of humor because everyone I know loves this movie to this day, still and always. 10 out of 10 stars.
Nice. 10 tens.
Correct. And for sure, like, that's the point that we're trying to make here is you don't have a good sense of humor if you can't understand what's going on here. And for sure, it's not for you. All right. Last but not least, Ilya Cart. ILY a cart says best. 4 bests. Best movie in the world. I saw that 1 billion times, and I will see it again and again. 10 out of 10 stars. 1 billion. I saw that 1 billion times with capital.
I don't know. I'm not sure if that's doable, like believable, but I trust your opinion.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible in like human life, but I love the enthusiasm.
Yeah.
All right. That brings us to the most popular category in podcasting right now. Should or shouldn't you watch this? 5 reasons why you should watch Tropic Thunder. And then you give me any that I missed, okay?
Roger that.
Number 1, if you don't have a sense of humor, then this is not for you, as we've already established. Number 2, if you like Ben Stiller, then this is for you. You have to, if you like Ben Stiller remotely, you should watch this. And if you understand some of his past like filmography, you should watch this. Number 3, if you want to see how graphic violence can be the funniest thing ever, this is for you. Number 4, if you want to see things that can never be seen in a movie ever again, then this is for you. And number 5, if you want to see multiple actors play roles you never thought they would, this is the king of that. Anything I missed? Any other reasons to watch Tropic Thunder?
All great reasons. And I just want to hammer the cast once again. There's just so many names in this, and they crush every scene they're in almost. Just line after line from them. One thing too is that you mentioned like this was would you say the 5th highest made comedy with the budget?
Yeah, and
most expensive to make.
Correct, and I have the stats to back that up.
So like it's an insane. It's obviously like one of the most best looking comedy movies you've seen with the cinematography. That opening scene is incredible. Just if you don't, not up just for a different movie with a comedy with, some good cinematography was I'm getting at.
Yeah, it's really beautiful to watch. Like those scenes are, if you saw that it is a big budget action movie. So
yeah, big budget. Some great action scenes.
Yeah, multiple. Some of it feels like a Rambo movie, dude.
Yeah. So that's another good reason to watch it.
Yeah. Anything else we missed?
I think we got it.
Let's pop into By the Numbers.
Blank.
For God's sake, just give me the damn number!
All right, box office haul. Did you look up the budget?
I haven't.
Okay. Guess what the budget is. Knowing that it's one of the 5th top expensive comedies ever made.
2008, I don't know, I'll say like over 100 million.
That's really good. That's a really good guess. 91 million.
Okay.
And this had a box office haul of 191 domestic and international sales combined, and a $52 million home video sales. Yeah, this was a high. Like people wanted this after it came out.
Yeah, I remember going to the theater, seeing it twice. I think.
Correct.
One of those where you want to see it again.
Yeah, because you can't believe like, and this is the one where you're like you find a friend who hasn't gone, and you're like you have to see Robert Downey Jr. Like you can't believe it. You got to come with me, and you take someone with you. So I looked up the stats, and you'll love this. Here's the top 10 most expensive comedies ever made. And I looked this up multiple places, and Tropic Thunder was not in the list. Okay. And I looked up the dates of I'm not a dummy. Our crack research team here at Should You Watch This, we looked at the dates. Okay. The dates were after the film came out. So it's not like they didn't know about this film. So I had to insert this into their top 10 list. Okay. Does that make sense? So I have 11 films. One of them is Tropic Thunder, and the other 10 are the top 10 most expensive comedies ever made, which they excluded this from their list, which is a travesty.
Yeah, but do they have the numbers? Can you see if like Tropic Thunder would fit in here or not?
Yes, I have the numbers too, because I wanted to know where it landed on the list, and it's number 5.
Okay. Insertion into number 5.
Full insertion to number 5. Okay.
Gotcha.
Do you want me to? I'm going to go from 10 to 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 10, Daddy's Home 2, $69 million budget.
Is that just because they're paying Marky Mark a lot? Like, is Marky Mark in that one?
Yeah, and Will Smith, and there's
Will Ferrell,
or not Will Smith. Will Ferrell. Mel Gibson is in it.
Oh yeah. He's
It's
picking up some budget.
okay. So you got Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, Mel Gibson, John Lithgow, John Cena. So you got a lot of big names that were requiring a big budget.
Yeah,
So
I never saw John Cena in that movie.
it's Daddy's Home and Daddy's Home 2 they're not great, but they're fun. They're funny. They're fun to watch.
I'm imagining most of these lists are just like for the actors, right? Like I just can't imagine a bigger budget on set than Tropic Thunder.
Correct. Well, let's listen to the rest of the list before you make that judgment. Number 9, Bruce Almighty for 81 million.
Yeah.
Number 8, You Don't Mess with the Zohan, 90 million.
Jeez.
7, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. I didn't know that was a comedy. I thought it was like a musical.
Yeah, I would put that in a musical. I'm not laughing at that shit.
Yeah, that's not funny. Should not be on the list. So that's 90 million. Number 6, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, 90 million.
Okay.
And so that's where it's going to lie. So that's right after.
The insertion goes in here.
Yeah, right after Jumanji. And then the next 5 are the ones that are more expensive than Tropic Thunder. And all of these come after this movie. So that gives you some idea. And and there's another one on the list that I for sure don't feel like should be on the list. Kind of like Mamma Mia. So number 5 is Pixels with $129 million budget.
Who watched that?
Bro, that's number 2 for a Sandler movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Probably just the effects, I'm guessing.
Has to be.
And number 4, Men in Black 3 with a $215 million budget.
I was wondering if Men in Black was going to make this list. If they considered it a comedy.
Yeah.
Number 3's on. Okay.
I'm sure Will Smith's budget was huge. Like his paycheck was huge for that. Number 3, Evan Almighty with a $250 million budget.
Jeez.
Number 2, and here's one that I think should be removed from the list, is Tangled, the animated feature Tangled with a 200.
That totally should be off the list.
Yeah, it's an animated film. That's not a comedy. 292 million. I didn't know
kids movie. Yeah,
animated
what?
movies cost that much to make. Jeez.
Yeah, but like that would be saying like Toy Story is like a comedy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't trust this list. Number 1, because Tropic Thunder wasn't even on it, but anyway. And number 1, arguably probably shouldn't be on the list. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, 354.
Where are you getting this bootleg list from, dude? What are we doing?
I didn't even put the reference because I don't want to give them credit. I just wanted you to have some context of where this fell.
No.
Not great.
Not everything on the internet's true. I don't believe it.
True. All right, here's some other numbers since we're in that category. Various characters.
Hold on. Back to that list. I guess what would you consider the true comedy on that list?
I think Daddy's Home is a comedy. Bruce Almighty is a comedy.
Yeah.
You Don't Mess with the Zohan, comedy. Jumanji is a comedy.
What's the ones before Tropic?
Jumanji, Mamma Mia, You Don't Mess with the Zohan, Bruce Almighty, and Daddy's Home 2.
Yeah.
And then I think Pixels, Men in Black 3, Evan Almighty for sure is, Tangled, and Pirates, and Mamma Mia I would strike from the list.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And obviously they suck at lists, so there's probably other comedies that I'm not thinking of that probably could fit in the bottom, half.
For sure.
All right, various characters mention that Kirk Lazarus is a 5-time Academy Award winner. Can you guess anyone else who has had 5 Academy Awards?
Oh, well, I'm good. Meryl Streep, I'm assuming.
No, she's had the most nominations.
Nominations?
Yes. As of the film's release, Katharine Hepburn holds the record for the most acting Oscars ever won with 4. No real actor or actress has ever won 5.
Ooh.
So
Lazarus is the GOAT.
Yeah, Kirk. He's the best.
When he gets nominated, this is kind of a spoiler, but at the end when he gets nominated, I paused the movie and you see the other 5 nominations. Do you see who else is on there?
Yeah, Tom Hanks is in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
and John Voight is on there, and there's two other ones.
Tobey Maguire from the Priest movie from the opening scene credits.
Oh yeah.
The trailer. And there's Sean Penn from the I Am Sam movie.
Ah, there you go. That's great. Speaking of Tobey Maguire, when Tobey Maguire made an appearance in the trailer for Satan's Alley, which by the way is the best name of a fake trailer or movie of all time, Satan's Alley, his agent told Ben Stiller, "You have him for 3 hours. He's catching a plane to Europe later in the morning for his next film." So they had him for 3 hours to film all those scenes, and then he was bounced.
Yeah. I watched the DVD commentary, and they were talking about they had somebody else that backed out at the very last second, and they were really excited they got Toby because he was an upgrade apparently. That was an amazing trailer.
It was an amazing trailer, super funny. I tried to find who it was, but no one has ever said who it was supposed to be. We should put that in puzzles and numbers.
Yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal, maybe?
Could be some speculation there. We talked about the opening action sequence. Guess how long it took to film?
Oh, a couple weeks.
3 weeks of the production. The first 3 weeks was the action sequence.
Yeah, it's a kick-ass opening scene.
Amazing. It's very funny and cool and it's a lot. There's a lot going on, like really cool cuts. Much going on. Like so many things to like coordinate within the movie, and it's very cool.
My favorite part is when Robert Downey Jr. Is running and he puts his gun behind the back. Mm. He's like, "Peekaboo, I see you."
Yeah.
I guess he improv that, which is great. It's so good.
Oh, that is awesome. Here's another one. 4 of the cast members were born in the same years, but were in separate months apart from each other. 1965, Robert Downey Jr. was born on April 4th, and Ben Stiller was born on November 30th, 1969. Jack Black was born on August 28th, and Matthew McConaughey was born on November 4th. And that's
all right.
That's in by the numbers, because
there's
numbers in them. Yeah. I got 2 more for you. Should I reveal the body count, or is that too spoilery?
Go ahead, give it to him.
All right. What do you think the body count is in this film?
It's not a lot. I know that.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad that you are honed in on that.
I would just say a couple. What is it? 3.
And so here's the thing. I'll reveal the deaths next week, but I'll just keep the death count at 3 here. Okay. And it'll be worth the wait because it's very funny. The 3 deaths. Okay. Just join us next week for that. And last but not least, for all the violent action in the plot, the only on-screen. Oh, that's the one I need to save for. I need to save for next week. I almost spoiled it for this week. There's 3 deaths, and I'll keep them till the end. So before we break for next week,
I got a number real quick.
Oh, all right, hit me.
Yeah, the opening scene with the explosion, with the trees and everything. That's awesome.
Yes.
I guess it was it took 1,600 gallons of gasoline for that.
Oh my gosh, bro, and it's amazing. The amount of fire and the ball of fire.
So good. Yeah.
And freaking Danny McBride, he is I love everything he yells.
Every line he has in this movie kills me.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say that like he's underrated, but like there's so many people that like step up to the plate. There's like 26 man in this film.
I mean, he might be my favorite of all of them, though. Tom Cruise is up there, but Dan McBride, every line he does is hilarious.
Really? He beats Tom Cruise for you?
Oh, man. I don't know. Tom Cruise, the first couple times he watches this, I mean, it's still stunning seeing him watching this again.
Yeah, and knowing like he's got those like prosthetic fat hands. Just
Which
looking,
is so funny how like you brought up earlier how he like that's what he told Stiller. He's like, I just want fat hands.
exactly. Yeah. And he's not like, I love that he's fat, but not like, he's like muscular fat. It's like a really well thought out character. I love it. And speaking of loving this film, like I don't want to give my rating obviously till next week, but obviously I really like this. And I'm super glad that we talked about this in our 1917 pod, which by the way, please go check that out. It's very awesome and highly loved on Instagram as well as the interwebs. So check it out. I'm glad we picked this because it's one of my favorites and I had to add it to my collection. I didn't have it.
Yeah.
So
it's one of my favorite comedies for sure. It still holds up so good today. Even like it's even more relevant today, which is hilarious.
Yeah, it's in this cancel culture, like being able to just laugh at something. And that's what comedy is, being able to poke fun at everybody, you know? And I think it's awesome. Anything else we missed before we part ways?
No, I'll see you next week.
All right. At this point, there may be spoilers up ahead next week. So if you want to watch and then come back next week and join us for a breakdown of the best movie to never be made again. I'm on the social medias. I dare you to message the great Popcorn Priest at Popcorn Priest. I love movies and would love it if you would share the love. Share this with the movie lover in your life. Another way to support the show is by throwing a few shekels at the priest by visiting patreon.com/Popcorn Priest and see what extra perks you can enjoy. Lastly, the easiest way to support the show and the most free is like and subscribe and give us a 5-star review. Easier than starting your car, except for the priest today tried to start his car and his battery was dead. So maybe it's not as easy. Well, actually, for sure is easier because I couldn't start my car. Anyway, back to the outro. As always, thanks for listening and thanks to my special guest, Mr. JJ himself. Always a pleasure, my man.
Thanks, Popcorn.
Join us next week for part 2 of Tropic Thunder. We'll see you then.